Hello.
Welcome.
to the Cake Smith Podcast. Actually out.
You don't have to yell.
No,
all
I
the
have to.
time.
It needs to happen.
You do not.
It absolutely needs to happen.
It does not.
Zach, I went to a
You-
lake
you-
yesterday.
So did I. I was there.
My voice is gone.
We were at the same lake.
we went to the same exact lake,
Really.
and
It's almost like
my voice is gone.
It's
because
almost
we
like
were
all
screaming.
the fun stuff we usually do together.
This was this was halfway full before we started, and now it's at basically empty. It's at water bottle flipping height of water.
Well, it depends on how,
You can hear my voice is just like
you can flip. You
struggling.
can flip my water bottle and it'll still work. Whether it'll stand or not is
it will not stand.
this will not stand.
It's a house divided. It's
Anyway.
the 2 and 3 cups full versus the quarter cup empty.
The quarter
No wait,
cup
three
empty.
3 and quarter cup mess. I'm too tired for this, man.
3/4 cup empty. You're
Man, this is why I'm a
You
youth
are
pastor and
struggling.
not a mathematician. Wait, I help with the finances though.
Yep.
Calculator app, all the way.
Yep.
Excel. Excel's good for you. I
We-
don't care what they say about Excel. It works very well.
We are just nailing this intro.
Dude, this intro is so good. What are we talking about today, Zach?
Well, before we get to what we're talking about,
Oh, yeah.
a few episodes ago, this is about a month ago in terms of like recording for us. But
Yeah.
a few episodes ago, we announced that hey, we might be considering doing Let's Plays.
Guess what? We just got the equipment.
We have the proper equipment for that now. It's just scheduling is the issue.
Yeah, we're both like uber busy.
Right.
So we'll get there.
We'll get there. The first game we're playing, I think we can announce this. 'Cause
Go for it. Yeah.
The first game we are playing is Kingdom Hearts because
Because he
reasons.
likes Kingdom Hearts.
Because I do.
And then it will be Madden.
We'll have like
After
a Madden.
that.
We'll have like a dedicated weekly Madden Day thing maybe.
Yeah.
We'll
Oh,
talk,
yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Uh-huh. I say that because he never wants to play Madden with me.
Yeah, because you play on an Xbox and Xbox sucks.
Yeah, I'm the only one who can get Madden 26.
Not if I get a PS5, but
You're not getting a PS5.
not right now.
Not right now.
Not right
But
now.
I'll buy the game and then we can play together on my Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, we have the equipment and we're starting eventually.
Yeah.
I was about to say soon, but I don't know how soon will be.
Yeah, this is true. I feel that.
All right, Nathan, what are we talking about?
We are talking about abortion.
So, if you guys remember back to last episode, or 2 episodes ago,
Yeah.
we wanted to talk about abortion alongside some of the other issues, the LGBT issues.
Yeah.
We saw that one subject ran long, and then the last
Mhm.
episode we were just like, okay, these are 2 heavy topics. Let's have some NFL in between because football is starting, and so get ready for that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So now we are talking about abortion. So
Yes.
so I think both of us have passages pulled up.
Yes, I do.
So
But do you want to start with yours first?
yes,
Okay.
let's start. So so I think we both agree abortion as
Sin.
Sin, yeah.
Yeah.
As in the killing, the unreasoned killing. Like if you don't have
Well, no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say. I don't think there is a reason to kill.
right, but
It doesn't exist in terms of abortion.
yeah, abortion as it pertains today, I think we both agree is sin. So let's explain why. So starting out from my passage, we're going to Genesis chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
Big shock. We're starting in the beginning.
What?
So I'm going to start in verse 26. And this is what it says. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the sky, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over all the creeping things of the earth." God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him.
Mm-hmm.
Male and female, he created them. Verse 28. God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and rule the fish of the sky, all the animals, all the bugs, all the everything."
Mm-hmm.
Zach paraphrased that last episode, that last little bit.
Right. No, I got you. Yeah.
But
yeah. You're right.
that first part, verse 28, God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply."
Mm-hmm.
Not, "Oh, when you're ready, be fruitful and multiply," or, "Oh, when, when you fulfill a certain list of requirements, be fruitful and multiply." Although, to be fair, God does require marriage before
Yeah, he does require it. Yeah.
before engaging in sex and
Marital activities.
marital activities and making babies and all that junk.
Yep.
But anyway, that's so God. This is legit, like the first commandment God gives them. God gives them like legit.
Yeah.
two
No, it is.
commands
It is.
in the garden.
Be fruitful and multiply,
Well, 3, I guess.
and don't eat the fruit.
Be fruitful, multiply. Don't eat that. See that tree? Don't eat it.
Don't eat it. Do those 3 things. If you can do those things and
Cool.
name everything, we like you. But they
Yeah.
they couldn't.
They couldn't.
They wanted to eat
So,
the
yeah.
fruit. So
So, I'm confident in saying abortion is, whatever your reason is, and again, you said it before. There's no reason to murder a child in the womb.
yeah, there's none.
But
I
whatever.
don't even think for, rape or, unwanted,
Right.
babies. I don't think there's a reason for it. And there's a popular video out there where there was a rape baby who was in his 30s, and he gave a speech, and he said, when I was a kid, I didn't know what this term abortion was, and I was just a kid and everything, and I knew that I was a product of it, but I didn't really understand the meaning of it. But I was horrified to learn that because I was a rape baby, people looked at me as less in the womb because I wasn't wanted. It wasn't anything that anybody planned on, and obviously that's a horrible act, and rape is never okay in any situation. But on the backside of that, murder is never okay in any situation. And so this guy was like, I was horrified to learn that basically people thought I wasn't human because of the circumstances of my conception. And it's a horrible thing. But a human's a human no matter what you do about it.
Right.
And
Exactly.
yeah.
Not in, like you said, no matter the circumstances around the conception, no matter the complications you might face, this is not an acceptable outcome. And I cannot tell you the number of videos I have seen, Nathan,
Yeah.
Online, whether it's scrolling on Instagram or on YouTube or
Right.
Facebook, of women who are, the dads of the babies, who whether it's their girlfriend, again, don't engage in the making of a child before marriage. Before marriage.
Be smart. Don't do that.
Right. But
You don't need the feeling.
You're right. But
in case we haven't told you this, disclaimer.
Right.
We're going to be talking about heavy topics today.
Right. That's another thing. Like we said in the LGBT episode, if you are a kid,
Probably best to tune out. Probably should have
Tune-
been tuned out already, but
Tune out. You should have been tuned out already, like we said in our
especially now, tune out.
like we said in our
Talk to your parents.
Yeah. Like we said in our LGBT video, watch this with your parents. Watch this with your guardian. If your parents are say, hey, let's watch it first. Let them watch it first.
Yep.
And then watch it with them. And so if you're a parent, let your kid watch it. Don't let your kid watch this alone.
Yeah. Even though we're not going to tell you anything that we don't think is wrong.
Right. Give me one moment.
Something happened. Cat again. Cat's like going into the sink.
Bad kitty.
Uh-oh.
Very bad kitty.
Oh, he's being a bad kitty. Anakin, get over here, bud.
Bad kitty. You do not go over by the sink.
Okay. It's a good thing we have carpet.
Yep.
All
Anyway.
right. So, anywho,
But yeah.
so going back to the purpose of sex and everything, yes, it's to be fruitful, but it also has that tag of, oh yeah, you're going to multiply if you do this.
Right.
It's built in for that reason.
Right.
So if you don't want a baby, don't have a baby.
Right.
It's not that hard.
This goes back to there are consequences for every action.
Yeah.
Especially when we get to Genesis chapter 3 with the
Oh, I had another point I wanted to bring up. Yeah.
introduction of sin.
Mm-hmm.
God said, "Okay, you sinned, and now there are consequences."
Yeah.
And while we are on earth, while God through Jesus has excused the ultimate consequence through our salvation, there are still consequences while we're on earth.
Right. There's there's an immediate consequence to this. So I have some friends who unfortunately had abortions because they felt that was the right thing to do at the time. And most of the time, they feel like it's the right thing to do because somebody told them it was the right thing to do. And a lot of people think that telling gals that they should have abortion. No, excuse me. Telling gals that they shouldn't have abortions is misogynistic and egotistical and mind control. And I go and look at that and say, okay, but how is telling them to have an abortion also not misogynistic and egotistical? Because now, if you have the kid, whoever did whatever it is that they did to you, whether it was willing or not willing, got away scot-free.
Right.
You put them in a better position, and if anything, you put yourself in an even worse one.
Right.
Because now, instead of having something good come out of something horrible, again, whether by choice or by force,
Right.
I'll leave it at that. If you abort the baby, most women, I don't know, a lot of women, I'll say a lot of women, later on in life feel like, holy crap, I murdered somebody.
Right.
Why on earth, on what planet, is it okay to tell a woman and lie to them and say, you should get an abortion, it's better for you, better for better for everyone involved, better for the man who did this.
Right.
We don't know if this kid is going to be deformed or have different disabilities or different things, genetic issues, whatnot.
Right.
So it's probably just best for the kid to just not live. Like, who is it for you to play God, and who is
Right.
it for you to put that feeling of murder on somebody later on
Right.
in life? What kind of monster are you? What kind of
Right.
unempathetic, evil person do you have to be to do that? People say, oh my gosh, you're pro-life and everything. You just want to screw the woman over. No, I want the woman to be healthy and in a good place.
Right.
I also want the baby to be healthy and in a good place.
Right.
Don't kill the freaking baby.
Right.
Now, that was something I wanted to point out. I want to move forward to more of the consequences because you kind of teed it up.
Because there are consequences, and you
Egypt
said,
knows about this.
Yep. Yep.
So in Exodus 1:13, Well, in 1:8, there was a new king in Egypt who didn't know Joseph after the whole
Right.
Joseph and the famine thing happened, and there was a lot of Hebrews in the land, right? They
Right.
all had moved to Egypt to feed for years, and then they just kind of worked and stayed there.
And
And that wasn't
the-
supposed to be
the-
the permanent solution.
that
It's just
wasn't-
kind of what happened.
right. the And at this point, the population of Israel is booming.
Oh, yeah.
It's growing massively.
It says in 1:9, Exodus 1:9, the people of the sons of Israel are more and mightier than we. So let's deal wisely with them. And so in verse 13, it says the Egyptians compelled the sons of Israel to labor rigorously. They made their lives bitter with hard labor and mortar and bricks and all kinds of labor in the field. So they basically enslaved them and just made things horrible. And then the king of Egypt says in verse 16 to the midwives, when you are helping the Hebrew women to give birth and see them on the birth stool, if it is a son, then you shall put him to death. But if it's a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives didn't care. So then finally Pharaoh
What I want.
commands in verse 22.
I do what God wants. But,
I do.
that's what-
Well, I
yeah,
try to do what God wants.
That's what they were saying.
But Pharaoh was like, bah. So then in verse 22, Pharaoh commands all his people, saying, every son who is born you are to cast into the Nile, and every daughter you are to keep alive. So basically, it's going to be a mass genocide of the entire Hebrew bloodline.
Right.
That's what he was wanting. And then what happens? Well, you get the birth of Moses, and he's spared,
He's-
basically, by Pharaoh's daughter.
right.
And
And I have a feeling that Pharaoh wanted to put Moses to death almost immediately, and Pharaoh's daughter was just like, "No, I'm keeping this.
that's basically
Or I'm
what
keeping
happened.
him."
Yeah. But then you get the burning bush, which is basically the call of Moses,
Right.
more or less. And then you get the power. You got the signs that Moses does before Pharaoh. And then, where's you got the plagues. You got the plagues immediately after. Now, this is all in
And-
response to Pharaoh doing two things. One, enslaving all of the people and making them suffer very greatly. And two, killing attempting a mass
So-
genocide of the people. This is akin to Hitler levels.
Right.
This is exactly, almost to the T, what Hitler did. The only difference is they didn't have the special gases and stuff, so
Oh,
they weren't totally
And-
in camps, but it was pretty
and-
close.
And Pharaoh specified the male children,
Not all of them.
not all
Yeah.
of them.
But, I mean, it would have ended their whole bloodline,
Right.
so it was basically going to do the same thing.
Um,
But this is Hitler levels of
So-
killing.
I have long held this theory, and I want to see. I want to see if you agree with it.
Uh-huh.
The 10 plagues. I've always thought it's always occurred to me. It occurred to me a long time ago. I've always thought that some, if not all, of the plagues were targeted at specific Egyptian gods.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Okay.
I think that's true.
And
It didn't.
there's at
work
least
out too
one
well.
where God basically turns off the sun, and I'm just like, okay, that's
Yeah.
pretty blatantly. I don't remember the sun god's name, but it's pretty blatantly targeting the sun, the god of the sun, who
Yeah.
the Egyptians believed was like the ruler of their
Yeah.
pantheon. So God is just out
he
here
called
like
him out.
it's just like, you are out here worshiping these gods. I can control all of them, and I'm one.
And he's like, well, not only can I control all of them, they don't exist. I'm actually the one in charge of it all. But yeah, the first plague, the water turns to blood. And then you got the frogs everywhere, and you've got the gnats and the flies. So I mean, they're just not good, not doing well. Well, then all the Egyptian livestock die. And then you get the boils and the hail.
I think it's
You get the locusts.
Yeah, it's the locust.
And then the darkness, the ninth
yeah.
plague, and then the 10th plague. But it's kind of funny how God sets up the 10th plague here.
So
He actually sets it up. In chapter 11 of Exodus, God warns them, and he says, at midnight I'm going to go out, and the firstborn of the land of each of the land of Egypt shall die. This is in direct response to the killing of the firstborn
Right.
of each
And-
of the Hebrews.
And this, so guys, don't misunderstand this as, oh look, God is killing children. Yes, okay. First of all, cold hard facts. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is, for all intents and purposes, killing children. But first of all, they're out of the womb. They are not.
Mhm.
As bad as this might sound, they are not defenseless.
Well, so this
That's
is where
Entirely defenseless.
there's a difference.
Right.
So you're correct. They're out of the womb. But that's not the point.
Right.
Right now the point is murder versus death.
Right.
God commanded Joshua to
Right.
go into all the land of Canaan and kill all the Philistines and all those who weren't following God.
Yeah. They all,
And so,
Basically-
and if you remember in Genesis, the punishment for eating the fruit was you're going to die.
right.
So that's the curse. So there's nothing stopping it. And so you've got all of these people whose hearts are so hardened against God from child, basically from when they were a baby. What's up?
I know this thing isn't working. Sorry, I know this thing.
Oh,
isn't working,
he's
guys, but
he's preempting a problem. Yeah. Yeah. Can you bring that over here actually? Was he chewing on it? Or was he just laying on it?
He was laying by it, but I am
Yeah.
preventing.
We bought an access point from Amazon and it's garbage. Never use Google Fiber's built-in access point system. They don't know how to make
But
access
yeah,
points.
I was just
Anyway.
Thing.
So let me set this over here. So anywho, God commanding people to be put to death or killed, however way it goes, is fine because murder is by definition the unwarranted killing. Basically,
Right.
there's killing without reason. But
Right.
Genesis chapter 9
right.
gives way for death penalty.
Right.
So there is a difference between killing and murder, which is sinful.
Right.
And God doing this in response to what the Egyptians were doing to the Hebrews is absolutely warranted because these people were not following God at all. None of the Egyptians were
Exactly.
at this point in time.
And and the Egyptians were you mentioned the Philistines and like the other kingdoms of Canaan that were in Israel at the time of Joshua's conquering.
Yeah.
And this is where I kind of wanted to go next is when God commands Joshua to say, hey, and he says, hey, go into this land and wipe everyone out.
Mhm.
So first of all, there are, I think God does make some provisions for sparing some people. We see that.
Yeah.
So God is not just saying, hey, go and just like murder everybody.
Well, he does say that.
He says that.
He does say that.
But it's not like he's not making provisions for some
Oh,
people.
yeah. Like with Jericho, you've got Rahab,
Yeah.
right?
Rahab the prostitute. Yep. God says, okay, you're fine.
You're fine because you followed
you're fine.
me kind of
You
halfway.
you
You tried. We'll give you credit for that.
you lied, but you lied to protect the children of Israel. So
She was learning. She was learning.
Yeah.
She was on the outside of the camp. Okay.
A for effort.
She was there, but
She's just trying. But when God, like you said, when God says go and wipe out all these nations, it's not completely unwarranted. Because if you look at the rituals some of these nations
Mhm.
practiced, it is totally like, oh, the crop's bad this year. I'm gonna go take my baby and sacrifice my baby to get a better crop next year.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's not how that. Yeah.
that's not how that works. And um, so it's just
And the Egyptians should have known better.
the
People
Egyptians
forget
should,
that
the Egyptians should have known
because
better.
like 80 years before this, I think approximately, was Joseph and all of that.
Right.
And I think it was more or less,
So-
Pharaoh he wanted to look like a god among men because he
So-
heard the legends of everybody growing up and, oh, it's my time to shine. Give me my ego and blah blah.
So
Yeah.
this is another area where Prince of Egypt. If you haven't watched Prince of Egypt, go watch it.
It's a good
But-
movie.
It's a good movie, but spoiler warning: when they get to the 10th plague in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and this is another part of the like brother dynamic that
Oh yeah.
I like that they did.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so first of all, we don't know. There's
We don't know what their relationship was.
We don't know. Yeah, first of all, we don't know what their relationship was. Partially due to we don't know exactly
We don't need to know though.
which pharaoh it was, but at the very least, the pharaoh that was ruling at the time would have known who Moses was
Fairly well.
fairly well.
Yeah.
But the brother dynamic and that they put in Prince of Egypt was amazing.
But it
And-
doesn't. In the
Right.
biblical account, I mean, yeah, it's even if they weren't, didn't grow up together or whatever.
Right.
Pharaoh knew Moses.
Pharaoh knew
Like
Moses.
this, it's
But-
still heartbreaking nonetheless.
But so to zero in on the scene where they get to the 10th plague, where they get to
Mhm.
Moses' warning about the 10th plague, you see
He's fine. He's not doing anything.
There's
a bug over there.
you see Moses and Ramesses talking, and Ramesses is just like, why can't things be as before? And then his son comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ramesses is, I'm going to pull off the same stunt that my father did. I'm going to kill all the male children of Israel,
Yeah.
and there shall be a cry in Egypt as there was never before.
Right.
And you see, and this is why I love animation.
Yeah.
You just see
Hey, bud.
you just see Moses' face go from like shock to just absolute
Yeah.
like terror and pain because he's just like, and sadness because he's just like,
Yeah.
You and I love the line that he used. He just says, and I think I'm paraphrasing here. I need to watch the movie again. That's probably gonna happen later. But Moses essentially says, "You have not." He just says, "Ramses, you have brought this on yourself."
Yeah.
And then obviously they go to the 10th plague, and they do a very very good job, I think, of adapting.
All of them die, and
Right.
all of the
Right.
especially Ramses' firstborn dies, and
Right.
and then Ramsey, Pharaoh, whoever it was, says basically out of grief, go, and then they go, and then they chase after them.
Changes his mind. And
That didn't go too well. But
yeah,
this was all in direct punishment to all of the
Right.
things that they were doing, and killing the babies, murdering these babies was part of that. And they didn't quite have the tools to, murder a baby inside the womb and keep the mother alive at
Right.
the time. But it doesn't matter.
No.
A baby is still a baby no matter how you look
Right.
at it. And, I figure out how many weeks it's pretty early. Actually, let me look it up. How many weeks in it takes for a baby to have their own blood type. It's pretty early.
right.
But, if you have your own blood type, you can't be
The same as
what's going on here? Sorry, this is Google Chrome on Mac. Fix it. It's awful. Sorry.
anyway.
Oh, let's see. Not infant. Fetus. When
Sorry, I'm checking looking at other things while you're doing that.
blood
But anyway,
type. I wanna get this because this is a huge point. Yeah. So 11 to 12 weeks of pregnancy, fetal blood cells, like, are present.
right.
Well, no, here, hold on. Sorry, I misread this. A fetus's blood type is present from conception, but can only be accurately determined from 11 to 12 weeks of pregnancy. So it's right away that the
Right.
baby has a new blood type. And if you know anything about how blood works, if a different blood type comes in contact with a different blood type, it attacks each other
Right.
and it doesn't work. So your blood has to match, and this is really important for transfusions. And so the argument that a baby is part of the mother's body and therefore the mother can do what she wants with her own body, it totally falls apart because it's a different freaking blood type.
To add to that, yes, uh, if you are an adult, you have complete autonomy over your body. But as we've said before,
Mhm.
if you do not want the baby, whatever reason you got, whether it's I don't want to have children at all,
Mhm.
whether it's I want to wait until I meet the right person to have a child with, whether it's I want to wait till I'm married,
Right.
whatever your reason is to, not wanting the baby.
If you don't want a baby, don't engage in the baby making.
Right.
Now, okay, for those that's forced,
Right.
one, please don't abort the baby. But two,
Right.
find the right people to surround yourself with. Now, I'm going to say something that's controversial, but I think it's true. There is absolutely an argument for the people who are okay with abortion, the pro-choice movement, in that pro-lifers are only pro-life until the baby is born. And what I mean by that is a lot of people who claim to be pro-life are only going to support the mother until the baby's born, and then all of a sudden, where does the support system go? Because you get all these pregnancy resource centers, and you get all these people who want to help keep babies going, or keep the fetus and up into infancy going. But what happens after that?
Right.
It drops off, and so then the mother, usually at that point, single mother, feels like, oh, I gotta do daycare, I've got to provide for my kid, got to feed him, and then I've got to go to work, and I've got to make a living, and I've got to do all this, but I also still have to check on my baby. And
Right.
I'm sorry, but like 8 to 9 weeks worth of time off, maternity leave, just isn't enough time in that situation.
Right.
And so that is where I say pro-lifers actually be pro-life and step up.
Right.
Because otherwise, you are those misogynists that are trying to make a woman do things that she shouldn't be doing.
But
Am I wrong?
no.
Okay.
But again, it, uh, it's it. I know we keep saying it, but I'll keep saying it because it's true. If you are sure you are not prepared to have a baby, whether you want to be like, okay, I want to build my career first, so that when I do have a baby, I can have a solid career, or me and my husband have a solid career. Anakin,
He was jumping.
me and my husband have
Yeah.
solid careers ourselves, and we can support the baby. Whether that's hey, one of us works from home, the other one is out,
Mm-hmm.
working. But we have a support system. We have a system in place that when we do have the baby,
Yeah.
the baby is taken care of.
Yeah.
But and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're saying if you and your husband decide, hey, let's wait to have kids.
Yeah, that's totally your
totally fine.
choice. There's
And-
nothing stopping you from waiting or from even engaging.
Right.
You know,
With
I,
with
there's
protection.
parameters, but I don't want to. There's a whole nother conversation right there.
Right.
So, but yeah, man, every time I hear people say, "Oh, abortion is fine because it's with the body," or it's God's okay with it, like, no.
So that that takes me into another point. I want to point out. So almost every religion that exists nowadays either straight out condemns abortion
Mm-hmm.
or very heavily, discourages it.
It's very rare that
Right.
lots of world religions unite over things.
Right.
Very rare.
It's very rare. There are very few. This is one of the few topics that all religions unite about.
Most of them.
Most of them do, and they're just like, whether it's
There's some that want you to sacrifice your kid, but
right, whether it's in Christianity, it's straight up condemned. I would could,
Yeah.
and most
if you did that in Islam, I think you would die.
and most Abrahamic religions, and I say Abrahamic religions because Islam is
by technicality,
By
it's an
technicality,
offshoot, but it's like
it's an offshoot of
it's so perverted from
Right.
what it
But-
was. It's not even
Right.
in the same
but
ballpark.
by most of those religions, it's straight up banned. And then, if I remember right, and I could be wrong, most of the Eastern religions, like Hinduism and Buddhism,
Mm.
they discourage it. But they're like, okay, we discourage it, but after the baby is born, we will take the baby and separate it from the parents, and
Yeah.
it'll be raised as somewhere else.
Now, yeah, there are systems and that kind of thing. The American system for adoption and foster systems.
There is no perfect system.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's no perfect system, but this one in particular is horrible. The
Yep.
foster system specifically is terrible. And I don't think CPS helps with that either.
Yeah.
I am a believer in mandated reporting and that kind of thing. You should do that. But
Right.
when they also help make those situations happen, it also makes me very angry. So
Right.
That's a conundrum I haven't gotten around yet. But anyways, so now there was a topic that somebody brought up with me. A friend of mine a few years ago brought this up, and it is, what if it's a situation of life of the baby or life of the mother?
This
It's rare that it happens.
it is rare. This and so newsflash, y'all. We have been getting better at not necessarily scripting beforehand, because
Conversating, though, at least.
but we've been getting better at before we sit down and record. We conversate about it, see where each other's at.
Yeah.
So when we as fun as it is for us and as entertaining as it is for you guys, when we do get in some of our more intense debates, we make it clear that, okay, this isn't gonna break the friendship.
Yeah, no,
This isn't gonna
this
destroy
is
the-
not gonna.
But yeah, so we've been getting better at doing that. But I said this to you before, and I said it's a personal belief of mine, and this is where I would take it. If it is a life and death situation, if the doctor comes in with you and your wife, to you and your wife, and says, "Hey, it's her or the baby," or and this conversation should happen before.
You guys should know your views on this.
Right. You guys should know you guys should agree on if I can finish.
Yeah.
If you are a married couple intent on having kids, part of that conversation should be, if it's life and death, what do we do? And you should agree on that.
Well, here's where I'm at. So, in particular, with the baby's gonna die or both is gonna die,
Right.
the baby's dead. So, that one's an easy one. In terms of, and I've heard it's very rare that this happens where it's either the baby lives or the mom lives. I struggle because I don't want to play God.
Right.
I don't believe in abortion. I don't think killing is the answer, and I think letting God's hand play out is real. But I also am the guy that says God gave us science and medicine as well. And so it's that conundrum. It's like, okay, well, we know somebody's going to die.
Right.
I had another friend of mine say, well, here's the deal. When it comes to that, if I have to make the decision as a power of attorney or something like that, my wife is going to live.
Right.
You know, I really don't know what I would do in that situation, Zach. I really don't.
And again, it's that like I said, that's part of a conversation. Once you get married and you say, okay, we are intent on having children, you need to discuss that because
I think that's between them and the Lord, if you want me to be honest.
Right, it is between the couple and the Lord.
Yeah.
Because it's and this is why I say you need to have the conversation with your wife.
I mean,
Not you specifically,
I
but-
really don't know if I could pull the trigger on killing my wife.
Right.
Because either way, it's like you're killing somebody.
Right. Right.
You know, it's like,
But it's
how we doing this?
But it's a conversation you and your wife need. And I'm using you as the proxy because
That's
you're
fine.
here.
Yeah, I can do it.
But you and your wife need to have just like, okay, we get in the situation as rare as it is.
Mhm.
We get in the situation. What are we doing? What's the decision here?
I have
So
a
you-
feeling most men would pick their wife,
Right.
and most women would pick the kid.
Right.
You know.
And-
Now there are some diseases that people have that
Right.
when they give birth, no matter what, they're gonna die.
Right.
And first off, that's really sad. And second off, I pray for those people because most of the time they
Right.
don't know until after they're pregnant.
Right.
At
But
least I think we're not pregnancy majors, y'all. It's just we're going off of what we've researched and
Right.
what we've been told.
by
We're not women. I'm sorry,
the
but
surprise, shocker,
yeah. And
breaking news,
what's that?
breaking news.
Breaking news: Zach and Nathan aren't women. You know, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Finding out you're gonna die or have like super like issues with the
Right.
pregnancy. A lot of times you don't know that until you actually try,
Right.
and it's really sad.
And there are a lot of complications that come up after pregnancy.
Yeah.
I don't know to after pregnancy that you
Right.
just
We had a friend last month that they were in the hospital for a long time,
Right.
both of them,
right and
but they both made it out. And I think God's sovereignty is in a lot of that too.
right and
You know.
God is compassionate and merciful to some.
Well, He's
and-
compassionate, merciful to all. It's
well,
just
to all. Right.
what will the
And-
situational outcome be?
And well, I should say this is his compassion.
By the way,
mercy-
I have a conversation I need to have with you after this. I think
his compassion and mercy
Yeah.
are evident on this side of heaven.
I wanted you to remind me of that.
Right. His compassion and mercy are evident on this side of heaven.
Yeah.
I'll say it that way. And he allows the woman to live, but
Yeah.
hey, you're not going to have any more kids.
You're barren. Done.
Whether it's a one and done or after the last kid, you're just like, okay, no,
Yeah.
you're done.
It's a hard thing.
Right.
And now there's some people, there's some women. I'm going to talk about stillbirth because I think we've got
Right.
our points really made about the abortion stuff, unless you have something else in your mind. But
Right.
you know, when it comes to stillbirth or losing the baby,
Miscarriages or whatever.
that's not murder. You didn't kill anybody. You
Right.
didn't. You didn't. That wasn't intentional. That is an
There-
unfortunate part of the curse that it happens.
Yeah, an unfortunate part of the curse. And there are some times, like we see it with David and Bathsheba. There are some
Yeah.
times where God says, okay,
There's a reason.
there's a reason.
Sometimes there's a reason you ain't getting
There
that
was
thing.
with David. It was there was a sin in your life that you
That was another thing I wanted to point out.
committed.
Yeah.
And I
me
am
find the
taking this
passage.
child away from you. And that's specific to David. He was just like, okay. And people say, oh, that God the child was conceived in sin, so God took him away. I'm like, yes, the child was conceived in sin,
Yeah.
but that doesn't. Notice how just because God says I'm taking the child doesn't mean he blamed the child.
Yeah.
This wasn't like a ritualistic sacrifice or anything. He's saying this is a punishment for you, David,
Mm-hmm.
because you sinned. And
Yeah.
it wasn't just because the child was conceived in sacrifice. It was just like, okay, you took her husband away
Mhm.
from her,
Yeah.
and you could say you took this child's rightful father away from him. Or you took Uriah's chance to be an actual father away from him. I'll say it that way. Anyway, but it's
Oh yeah. Okay. This is what I wanted to hit on. So in 2 Samuel 12,
you're right.
verses 22 and 23, David's child dies from Bathsheba. And he says in 12:22, while the child was still alive, I fasted and wept, for I said, who knows, the Lord may be gracious to me that the child may live. But now he has died, why should I fast? Can I bring him back? I will go to him, but he will not return to me. This, I think, is a key verse. It may be the only key verse on this. But I think that the only way that verse works is if some form of age of accountability, which I don't know that we have time to explain, but some form of age of accountability exists.
I think that's another episode.
Yeah, basically it's the belief that, or the view that a child is eligible for heaven up to a certain age where they can actually put together cognitive thoughts.
Right.
I would be on that team, and the reason why I say that is because of 2 Samuel 12:23, where David's child dies, and David says, "I can't, you can't come back to me. I want you to come back, but it can't happen. The only way is if I go to you." And I can't read that and say that babies who are killed for whatever reason, whether it's if they die in stillbirth or miscarriage or abortion, or if the pregnancy is terminated for whatever reason,
right,
that child, because of this verse, I can say pretty confidently is in heaven. And that should comfort a lot of people.
Right. And that should comfort a lot of people, and that should comfort a lot of men who would have been fathers.
Yeah.
Because I think I mentioned this earlier, but I cannot count the number of videos.
That's another thing.
I cannot count the number of videos I've seen of outside abortion clinics, whether it's Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, fathers are outside begging their wives or girlfriends or whatever,
screaming and crying and begging, "Please don't kill the kid. I will take care of him." I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I just want to. I got a thought percolating.
There was a video I watched recently of this dude and this girl had a one-night stand basically, and she got pregnant, and she called him and said, "Hey, I'm pregnant. I'm taking care of it." And he said, "Don't do anything. I'm hopping on the next flight. I'll be there in the morning." She says, "Like, I already have an appointment. By the time you arrive, it'll be done."
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Please don't kill my baby." I'm just like, so, and I'm sorry if you are so callously not just robbing the child of its life, but robbing a person of their chance to be a parent.
That's horrible.
When they're doing is saying, "Hey, I will take the child and I will raise it. You never have to see the child again after it's born." If
You're an evil person for doing that.
You're an evil
Well,
person.
and here's what's even more evil. So, in situations legally where, there's a separation of parents, or CPS gets involved, custody
Right.
gets shared, whatever, it is legally mandated that both sides are informed on exactly what's going on, no matter what, between each parent.
Right.
It is absolutely by law there. The
Right.
fact that that doesn't exist, and that the woman can do whatever she wants. The argument that it's her body, her choice, is absolutely just totally wrong. And it takes two people to tango to make that baby, and that baby
Right.
is genetically every much as part of the man as it is part of that woman.
Right.
It is both. And so, at the very minimum, well, actually, at the minimum, all abortion clinics should just burn. But
Right.
at the very minimum, from a legal standpoint, there should be some form of check to say, did the father sign off on this? If
Right.
not, pack your bags and go home and deal with the consequences of your own stupidity. Or something else. Now, the only time that would get a little weird is in the times of rape and that
Right.
kind of thing. I think from a worldly standpoint, they're going to say, well, this,
This man's
he's trying to screw her over, blah, 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 blah. No, but that's when the church needs to step up and do their job and be the church. And this
Right.
is a rebuke of the church now. Most of them don't.
Right.
And so it's a stepping up of all sides here.
Right.
But
So
will we? I don't know. It's America. People don't like to
this-
step up.
the-
So
what you said brought
sorry,
up,
a
brought
little
up
depressed there.
an excellent point.
We do need to
Or-
hurry up though. My battery's
yeah.
probably going to die on that pretty soon. So
I love watching Judge Judy. and
she's amazing.
She is amazing, and while I don't condone all the things she does on her show, or she did on her show, I think it's ended now. And I don't condone all the verdicts she gave. I don't agree with them. And obviously, it's
TV.
It was a TV. It's a TV. But one of the things I did agree with that she said is, it was a custody case plus like the child support.
Yeah.
And she looks at the mother and she's like, fathers are not second class citizens.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is another problem with the American system of when parents separate, the dad is the one who usually gets screwed.
Yeah.
That's another conversation.
My blood boils too. That's why I don't say much.
But I'm not. I'll leave that there. But I completely agree with her on that. Fathers are not second class citizens. Like you said, there should be a check in place to say, or whether it's both parents come in, or it's both parents in normal circumstances. Because we can. I understand rape that's a sensitive topic, but if you are in a normal, healthy relationship, both parents are coming in. You are both signing off on this, and if you decide before the procedure is done, whether it's like, okay, you came in and signed the papers, but it's scheduled a few weeks from now. If you decide before that appointment that you're keeping the baby,
from a legal standpoint, that's going to be hard.
From a legal standpoint, that's going to be hard. But one of the papers, and this probably be a little controversial, and this might just be a personal opinion, but from a legal standpoint, one of those papers should be, okay, if the mother chooses to keep the baby, the father is exempt from child support payments.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
I can. Let me phrase it.
Well, it depends on the.
I'm on the fence about it. Let me say it that way. I'm on the fence about it.
I
but
don't.
I can see the argument.
I can see that being abused very quickly.
I can see that being used.
Yeah, the more the
The
more
more
thought I put,
you think about it, the more it's just like.
yeah, I don't think I like that.
But I can see an argument about that. Just saying, hey,
I don't know how that type of system would work.
I don't know
I
either.
can see a lot of guys trying to get out of.
I can see it too, but if there, if
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
it wouldn't, but
We need a better system.
we need a
better
system.
We need a
It's-
better legal system, and we need a better church system. That's all
Right.
I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
Both
that
need
we
to step
we
it
just
up.
need a better system in place, and that might be something that gets brought
But
up. And
it doesn't get better until God
right.
nukes
And-
the planet and hits full reset.
Let me just say again that that's something I'm on the fence about, but I can see the argument for it. Just saying, hey, you after we came in and both of us signed the papers, you decided to keep the child. I am exempt from the payments. I can see the argument for it.
I think that opens the door to a lot of manipulation. I can kind of get it, but
Right.
unfortunately, that's more beneficial to one party.
Right. But I can see the argument, but it's just like, okay, there needs to be
Yeah.
a better system in place
I don't think
for that to work.
Yeah.
But anyway,
All
I
right,
think
let me
that's-
hit the outro here because my battery's about to die on my phone. So,
all right.
hey guys, thanks for watching this. This
for
one
watching.
was. We've been putting a lot of work into this one.
Get excited. We're going to have something a little bit lighter next episode because
That was heavy.
that was
Yeah,
heavy.
I ain't gonna lie, that one was heavy.
But
Be watchful.
be watchful.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. We're in this for subs and likes and get the truth out
We
there.
are
So
23 subscribers away from 100.
yeah, come on, guys. Hey, we see you.
Get us to 100.
Get over that the triple digit hump here,
Right.
and then it'll be the quads, and then it'll be the quints. And what's 6? What's the 6th one? Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Oh, seis. The seis is.
You've completely,
I have to count.
skipped over the Cinco. But
Who
cares?
needs Cinco? I don't care about Cinco.
Cinco de Mayo needs Cinco.
You know what? I was born May 15th.
So you need 5?
I am the Cinco de Mayo.
Not really.
May the 5th be with you. I like mayonnaise as well. Cinco de mayonnaise. That's how we end this.
Yep.
I'm
We
real.
never
I'm
got-
trying to fill the time in here.
We it's like every other episode we
We either get it perfect or we're like 30 seconds off.
and there's that one.
Hey!
Yeah. All right.
Goodbye.
See you guys later.
I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. It's like 11 o'clock.